In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. I bear witness that Allah appeared in the personage of Master Fraud Muhammad, and I also bear witness that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is his messenger. I also continue to bear witness that the Most Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is our divine reminder, as well as our mercy to the black man and black woman here in the wilderness of America. And I also bear witness that Minister Farrakhan is a divine reminder to humanity. I greet you in the language of peace of Assalamu alaikum, which only means peace be unto you. My experience in the Nation of Islam has been an honorable experience. I will never, by Allah's mercy, detach myself from the oxygen of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Because it's from these teachings that I found my identity and the knowledge of who I am. It's an honor for you to know who you are. That's a birthright given to us from Allah, from God, for you to know who you are. It's mandatory that you know who you are. And I know a lot of my people might say, I know who I am. You can't tell me nothing. I know exactly who I am. Yeah, you're right. We can't tell you nothing. However, our condition as a whole reflects that we don't know who we are. Our communities reflect we don't know who we are. And some of our homes reflect that we don't know who we are. It's nothing wrong for another man or another woman to reacquaint you with who you are. That's why we have teachers, to educate you when knowledge is absent. It's mandatory that we know who we are. Many of my people are conscious that they are alive, but unconscious of who they are. That's a problem. The knowledge of self is the foundation of who we are. Now let me get into my topic, my experience in the Nation of Islam. And I want to speak about two men, Minister Farrakhan and Minister Roland. Minister Farrakhan is responsible for a lot of black men to change their life into a positive, progressive motion, and also doing for self, following the blueprint of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Where would we be today if the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan didn't stand back up and rebuild the nation? Just think about where we would be mentally today. Minister Farrakhan is our key to heaven and salvation. When you deal with us striving to better ourselves in the nation, we don't come perfect. We come scattered in bits and pieces. And it's the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad up under the guidance of Minister Farrakhan that put us back together as men and women. And when you join the nation and accept yourself, accept your own, and be yourself, you will unlock qualities that's buried in you that's needed to help to build a new world that will be governed by the Nation of Islam and will honor and respect and enforce freedom, justice, and equality. So when Allah chooses us to be part of a transition of a new world, when he chooses you in the Nation of Islam, you are special. Allah knows his creation, and he knew that we had something in us that will contribute to helping a new world order. That's powerful. That's honorable. Because something in us heard the teachings and something in us responded. That's why they say that many are called, but only a few is chosen. And those that have chosen themselves. So if you are in the nation and you heard these teachings and responded and stood in ranks, you are special. When we come to the nation, we come in parts. Like I say, we come scattered. We come broken. And we come reaching out to a teachings that we believe that can rebuild, repair, and rebuild us. And that's exactly what the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has done and will continue to do. This teachings is our rehabilitation. Out of a world, a wicked world that traumatized us mentally, abused us, and killed us physically. When we come to the nation, we may make mistakes. And in those mistakes, it's mercy. Depending on what mistake was made. Because all mistakes have weight and repercussions for. However, no one in the nation of Islam is perfect. When I first came home, I couldn't wait to go to the mosque. I couldn't wait to check in because my mind, what I seen in the nation, in prison, was a nation like no other. All we did was look at the videotapes, the old videotapes of the leader, and who stood out with me on the videos, the first video that I ever watched, who stood out with me? I seen Minister Farrakhan on stage, he grabbed me immediately. I seen the Supreme Captain, and I seen Khalid Muhammad. May God be pleased with his soul. And who stood out to me was our Supreme Captain, Mustafa. He didn't have no wavering in his posture. He didn't have no weakness in him. He was there for a divine mission, and that's it. He wasn't there to think too much of himself. He wasn't there to look down on nobody or think that he was, like I say, more than who he was. He was there to secure our man, his father, the Most Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And when you present yourself in public, wise people can feel this and see this. So I was attracted to the Supreme Captain. Not just because he's Minister Farrakhan's son. It's the spirit and what he embodies. and how Minister Farrakhan taught him to be real. So I was attracted to that brother. And that's our supreme captain. Now, I have had the privilege and the opportunity to meet Minister Roland. That there's so many people that knows this brother. See, you can't cover up the good work of a man that submitted to the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad under the guidance of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and he applied those teachings by doing for self. When a man does for self, his thought pattern is different. His feeling, his approach, how he approached the world is different. When you go into Minister Roland's bakery, his bean pies is some of the best bean pies in Cleveland. And I'm not saying this just to say it. I'm not the type of brother, I'm not a fake brother. You know what I'm saying? Who, if you got a problem with somebody because of your situation, I got a problem with it. Absolutely not. If something had been resolved, if something have been rectified, then what the hell is my issue with my brother? Because when we have issues with them dudes in the streets, you want to declare peace. But with our own brother, we want to hold a posture of distance, a posture of ignorance against our own. And it's our own that we need to help build the nation of Islam. When you go into this brother's bakery, on his wall, everything on his wall represents his history in the Nation of Islam. Everything in his bakery represents a brother who believes in the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and who honor the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I have never encountered this brother in anything he have told me or he have said anything ill about Minister Farrakhan. Every solution that I brung up to this brother, he goes into the books and extract wisdom to help you solve your problem. He don't lean on his own understanding. He leans on the teachings for guidance. Whatever transpired, I was in prison. And when I came home, I came home to the minister that was in Cleveland. However, when you have a problem with your brother, don't share your problems with other brothers that really don't know the details, and it's not their business to know the details of that incident. Because, see, that falls in a line of gossip. And that also divides the nation. So therefore, you have brothers that dislike Minister Roland and don't even know him. You have brothers that hate the brother and don't even know him. Has never even sat down and talked to him. Because you have serpents in the nation that's their job, is to divide. That's their job. Their attendance is good. Their attendance is excellent. Because their job is to come to the mosque and make sure it continues to go as it's going. Envy. Envy. Anytime that we have an issue with our own brother, address him and don't share it with nobody else. Because when you share it with people that don't know, you have people that love the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. You have people that love Minister Farrakhan, and a wicked deceiver will use your love that you have for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to go against what you don't approve. That's a coward. That's a vicious coward in a uniform of a FOI. I don't like division, slack talk, and gossip, because I know what it have done to us in Cleveland. Destroyed us. So you have our minister, Minister Quran, and our captain, Brother Captain Tony, who is doing their best to build the Nation of Islam with problems that they didn't produce or create. And they still strive to help build the Nation of Islam. And I respect our minister and captain here in Cleveland. When we come to the nation, we come as a gift. And the nation, the teachings, fosters and bring that potential to reality. But this potential is designed to help make us stronger men and women, more skillful, and more productive in building our own nation. So therefore, you have brothers and sisters that come with beautiful gifts. And I mean gifts, talent, they just gifted. And when they try to express their gifts, you have the envious ones that's in the nation, the whisperers, the snakes that's in the nation that mobilize and organize to kill the spirit of a strong brother or sister that has that potential, because they were sent in by the government. And some of us do things out of ignorance because we are just followers instead of leaders. When you join the Nation of Islam, you become a leader in your own right. Now, you know your position as a leader. You know you're not Minister Farrakhan. You know you're not the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, but you a leader in your own right. But you know your position as a leader. You know who the leader is. But the teachings give us an independent thought where we can make our own judgments based off of truth, based off of freedom, justice, and equality. I remember an incident happened with a beautiful brother, and I didn't know who he was. It's a brother named Nipsey Hussle. And people was talking about this everywhere. I'm like, who is Nipsey Hussle? So I called my niece, and my niece and them, they knew exactly who he was. So I looked the brother up, and come to find out, Nipsey Hussle was a beautiful brother, was a real good brother, but I didn't know who he was. And you had people everywhere talking about Nipsey Hussle. And I'm here to say that, then is he a beautiful brother? Absolutely, may Allah bless his soul. But I guarantee you this, it's a lot of people that was talking about Nipsey Hussle that you know damn well you didn't know who Nipsey Hussle was. But because everybody is talking about Nipsey Hussle, and this is the main topic today, we want to feed into that and act like we was a part of knowing this brother. Them are the same individuals in the Nation of Islam that if a brother dislike you or a sister dislike you, they also dislike you because they are followers in the worst way. I'm not going to speak about something or talk about something that I don't know about. I don't have feelings for that. So how can I make some false feelings about something that I don't know? I can't do that. So my point is, if you have a problem with a brother, I wish you would come to me and tell me. I promise you, I wish you would come to me and tell me something about another brother because you disapprove of him. Because in my mind, when you say something like that to me, excuse my expression, but I know that you a weak ass nigga. You weak. And you are very deceitful in this. You practice deception on the highest level. Because what I mean by on the highest level is that our last alternative, our last hope is the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's our only salvation in reality. Ain't no school or college teaching us what we learn in the Nation of Islam, and they never will. Because this reacquaints your spirit that God gave you back to him. And when you fear Allah, you don't fear no one but him. And when you are fearless and educated on the knowledge of who you are, you become a weapon to the enemy. In that order. So I don't respect the whisperers and the gossipers. And then you have some that only gossip amongst, they act like they don't gossip, but they gossip amongst those that know them that gossip, and they just keep it amongst themselves. So it's like they don't gossip, but they do. But when you come into their presence, you can feel the energy. Because it's one thing that you cannot pretend is energy. At all whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I hate gospels. I hate slanderers. Because it's them same slanderers that it's the reason why the Maz is the way it is in Cleveland. You have brothers that's on this side and brothers on this side. And when you meet these brothers, these are some beautiful brothers. But it's somebody in there that's keeping the slander and the gossip going. Just because a lot of us are close to the sun, the most honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, that don't mean that you pure. That don't mean that you 100% right because you close to the sun. You have brothers that's so wicked that they'll play real humble in front of the leader, real humble in front of the minister, you know what I'm saying, and then go torment his believers, torment the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's believers, but then act like he just real humble when he around the presence of the FOI. It's one thing about men that I deal with, they can stand on their own, Chief. So when you bring them together, you got a force. All praises belongs to Allah. You have brothers that's so wickedly wise that they know how to separate, and they make friendship in Chicago. They make friendship in high places. So when they say something, it's respected. You have brothers that go whisper to Minister Ishmael, whisper. And then when you come around, it's a certain type of energy where they look at you as you are an enemy. This is weak. This really is really weak shit though, for real. Excuse my expression. It's really weak because you got some people, some FOIs like myself. You got some FOIs that's everywhere that love the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And who is you to weigh and judge a person's heart on their love for that man? Who are you? I don't care about your attendance. I don't care nothing about none of that. What you do outside of the nation. What's your works outside of the nation? These brothers go whispering to Minister Ishmael, whispering to brothers, and then they turn brothers against brothers. They make it seem like brothers are enemies to the nation. But this is the enemy's plan, though. This is your plan. So therefore, don't nobody really want to hang out with Minister Roland. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to hang out with Minister Quran. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to hang out with Brother Captain Tony. This is crazy though, because this is the enemy's plan, is division, to divide. This is the only way he can conquer. But if we got supreme teachings, then how do we let the slinky devil whisper into our hearts? How? When you got lessons on this chump, ways how to kill an organization, you got lessons on this. We got lessons on this. Can the devil fool a Muslim? Not nowadays. And then when you speak up on truth, you are an enemy. You are an agent. Shut up, coward. Because one day Allah gonna let us loose on brothers and sisters like you. And it'd be an honor to clean you. To clean you up. Because it's one thing that we cannot play with is the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Minister Farrakhan has sacrificed time with his family to build the nation of Islam. And we should respect and honor that. We have to identify and aggressively deal with this slinking, gossiping, wicked devil. You can't get past me, Chief. I don't care what FOI uniform you wear. I don't care what suit you wear. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. But do I play with these teachings? Hell no. Absolutely not. Minister Roland is a beautiful brother. And I'm not saying this just to say this, but his spirit, he's a beautiful brother. And it shouldn't be hard for us to resolve our issues and our problems if we are true believers in the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Because we have what they call a day of atonement. And what does that mean? Is it just words, or is it actions behind truly atoning? A lot of us want the nation, and a lot of us don't want the nation. And you also have that white supremacy mind that's also in the nation. It's in there. You can best believe that. How can you divide the nation when we have supreme wisdom? When the most honorable Elijah Muhammad when he built the nation, the benefit what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad had was brothers that wasn't educated with this system, with America's knowledge. So all they had in them was the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and they moved just on that. They moved. It wasn't no other knowledge that was conflicting with those teachings. And they covered ground quick. These teachings is a filter that should be able to filter BS and get down to the purest essence of that knowledge. Period. I didn't mean to take up this much time, but I had to get this off my chest because we have beautiful brothers in the nation that is a great help to building and teaching skills of doing for self that will help brothers take care of their families, take care of their nation. You have brothers that have this type of energy and skills to teach us how to do for self. how to be salesmen. What if we had Malcolm X, Khalid Muhammad, and Minister Farrakhan? Well, we still got Minister Farrakhan. He's not going nowhere. Minister Farrakhan, all together teaching the day. Can you imagine that? But the skillful enemy, and we have an enemy in self that's not checked. The enemy outside of self can influence the enemy in self to go against what you say that you love. Point blank, period. So therefore, we have a falling of Malcolm X. And our people, they worship and they follow Malcolm X today because the enemy say this is a man that was worthy of worship, but they hated Malcolm X. But the reason why he give you this today, because the reason why he give you this history today is because he have put his own medicine of division, his own knowledge in there. You know what I'm saying? Where it made it seem like the most honorable Elijah Muhammad was envying his student, which is a damn lie. So again, he give you the history of Malcolm X in his distorted version, in his perverted version. And then we follow it because on the for real, when Malcolm X was living, black people was too scared to follow Malcolm X. What Malcolm X was speaking about, they were scared to think about. But now everybody got Malcolm X shirts and they follow Malcolm. You know why? Because it's safe to follow a dead man. Because a dead man can never solve your real problems. So they give you Malcolm X. Khalid Muhammad, he failed in the nation. That's why we got to be very careful. Because if Allah can take them type of stars, then who are we? So you always got to keep those emotions in check. You got to destroy envy. If Allah can take them stars, then that should humble us to know that we're not exempt from the chastisement of Allah if we go out of the path of the Nation of Islam. What if Minister Farrakhan had this type of help today, though? Can you picture that? Minister Farrakhan teaching in the city. Malcolm X teaching in the city. Dr. Khalid Muhammad teaching in the city. Can you picture that? Minister Farrakhan is only one man doing this. And he stays steadfast, diligent, through sickness and all, to uphold the integrity and the divine message of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's why if you're a true believer, in your heart you know Minister Farrakhan is the right one. You know that he do exactly what he said he gonna do. You know he don't sell out behind closed doors if you are a true believer. But if you're not, you will have doubt. Like a hypocrite. So my point is this. Minister Roland is a good brother, taught by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I got a chance to meet the brother, and everything that's around him represents the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and it also represents his love and devotion, the books and all, for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I love Minister Roland. I love the brother. You know, I'm not the type of brother that go against. Now, if we have a lesson where, you know, you out of the mosque and that's just a law, you know what I'm saying, and you don't associate with him, and we all know this, then of course. But if then you don't associate with the brother until that time is up. You know what I'm saying? But if something has been solved, then what's the issue? I'm gonna tell you what's the issue before I leave. He got a pair of boots on the wall, and it says work, and it has a whole list of stuff that FOI is supposed to do. So sometimes people don't want to come together because it's easy to create division, because with division, it's no work at all whatsoever. But when you put on them boots, you strap them boots up, now you have to work. And a lot of us don't want to work, we want to talk. A lot of us don't want to work, we want to keep dividing. A lot of us don't want to work because work declares movement, and movement declares endurance, and endurance declares that we have to be in motion. It's easy to sit around and talk and gossip. It's easy to cause division, but it requires endurance to build a nation. And that brother is up every morning building a nation. We need to deal with this gossip. I'm straight up. And they right in Chicago too. Right in ranks. I would never try to befriend somebody in the Nation of Islam. Like, you got brothers that stand out. The Supreme Captain, the Grand Master, Anthony, the brother changed his name. I don't want to misrepresent. I don't want to. The Grand Master. When you meet him, Brother Nure, Brother Albert, Brother Paul, you know, when you meet good brothers, they have a spirit that is like you can feel them. I'm not going to misrepresent the love I have for a brother because of what somebody else dislike about the brother. If that brother is in good standings and he's one of us, then resolve your issues and your problem as you would with the enemy, as you would with them gang members outside. Because a lot of us like to hide behind the real killers in the streets to do their dirty work, what they scared to do. But I guarantee you, them same killers, you go to them when you got a problem and you try to get them to come with you, they gonna say, no, man, we don't do that in the teachings. We don't do that. I'm riding with my brother regardless, good and bad. If you rolling with me, I'm rolling with you. We're gonna resolve the issue, hopefully, but if not, then we gotta go to war. You will go to war for me. I respect and honor good brothers and good sisters because you are valuable to the Nation of Islam. And I respect the ones that look at a brother or a sister as they present themselves by not what somebody else or envious person said. I couldn't even have no friend like that, man. You know what I'm saying? You talking about somebody else, but you won't say this shit to their face. But you talking behind their back, creating this type of energy of division. So when a person come around, they feel the off energy. Get out of here. I don't mean to take y'all time up today, but we got to deal with this envious joker, and we got to deal with them shrewdly, and we got to just deal with them, just put them out, just get them out of there. And we know who they are. These people can't really hide because they go against everything what the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad say. That's why we got lessons. We got 26 restrictive laws. And all them, if you just follow them, you'll be able to find that gospel. You'll be, if you follow just them restricted laws, it'll guide you through life. That's how powerful these teachings is. It'll guide you, and you'll watch out. It'll have you watching out for everything, because once you internalize this, it's like it connects to everything. May Allah continue to bless the strong and destroy the weak. May Allah continue to bless believers, destroy hypocrites, and may Allah continue to bless the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I thank you for everything that you have done for us, the black man and black woman, here in America. I thank you. And may Allah continue to bless the nation, bless our nation with divine protection and progress. Assalamu alaikum. Your brother, Kabir, Legend, Muhammad. Peace.